Explaining my eToro strategy 2020. So after 2 months of trading in eToro, I already understand some few fundamentals and details of the trading game. I started from a low last March when I had just started my investment and slowly but surely grow over the course of time. My ratings are actually risky. This is due to my bad bets last April, the reason why my performance fluctuates so fast from high to low. My consistency and strategy for long-term lose the moment I realized that swing trade are also important if you want your capital to grow despite holding others on a long term. I sold all my precious stocks on a short term thinking that it would go down due to pandemic. Thus it reflects to me that I failed to follow my first video on investing. I gained for a little, but the stocks had tripled over 2 months like Tesla, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. My biggest mistake was probably to experiment on shorting process like in short sell Bitcoin and Tesla when they supposed to be an option that could grow over time. May started and I also tried to copy others people option like trading on currency. The leveraging was so risky because they programmed the site to engage trade on a highest leverage, which is very risky for beginners. But I was lucky to escape and gain some profit than to lose. Over the course of days, I became addicted on checking my portfolio on a daily basis, and the worst part is checking it every hour like I was checking my social media account. This addictive behavior lose my ability to focus on my time and real business because every time the stock lose and gain, the feeling are intense that you would not miss this thing out. So in order to get back on my real priority and manage my time, I changed my investment journey starting on June when things get settled and already dumped my bad investment over the past few weeks. In order to manage my time, I set a limit on checking my stocks only twice per week. This is part of my swing trade allocation. The method seems risky, but for experimental purposes, my bad habits can be mitigated and controlled, a part of my real long-term strategy in the game. Setting up stop loss and take profit are also important to mitigate the risk, despite checking only for twice in a week. This is best than forcing our emotion to take profit and stop loss based upon our emotion and media news when checking our portfolio. Here are the following lists of my strategy. Number 1. Company that could change people's lives. Part of my new investment strategy is to carefully choose only the company that could impact on the lives of every human being in the course of its business existence. These companies are likely to be problem solver or game changer after 5 to 10 years in the future. I regret selling Bitcoin and Tesla too early upon my first investment option, as they reach high now without any more looking back down. The fact that I became pessimistic on pandemic. They are actually my first option 2 months ago, but they rally high so fast that I missed the opportunity to position myself in them when they are still on their great low. They are considered the list of company or a choice option that could change the people's life 2 to 3 years in the future ahead. Number 2 is the long-term investing 2 to 3 years. Another part of my strategy is choosing only the company that can withstand a growth for 2 to 3 years in the future. Despite losing momentum in their early days, such as today, building trust and value in their present low is important. This is synonymously similar to a number 1 list that when we actually choose a company that could impact in the lives of every people in the future, their value might not be revealed yet on their first year of operation, but their game-changing value might become noticeable after 2 to 3 years of their business operation. Number 3 of my strategy is 80% long-term trade and 20% swing trade of my total equity. The concept of my trading rely on a long-term holding position of stocks and swing trading game of currency and crypto. As my equity grows over time, the percentage remains the same, such as 80% of my total equity are only invest on stocks, which I hold it for several years until they are matured enough to be sold. On the other hand, I still need to take some risk in order to grow my profit on short-term basis. while holding some long-term, which I'll use swing trade method and allocate only 20% of my total equity to lessen the risk. Number 4 is that sell at a 200% above high, hold when low. Another important strategy is to break my long-term strategy when things started to collapse or when things started to profit too much. This is to be flexible in the market and to avoid regrets in the long run because of holding the stocks too long, that when it reaches its very high, it started to collapse again. My key to this strategy is using the 200% method gain profit, which even though I did not reach 2 to 3 years on a certain stock holding, but as long as it reaches 200% above its original value, then I might or might not decide to sell it. If that stock are really important and could still grow over the years, then I will remain a hold. But when it can no longer be valuable for another years, then take profit is a must and find another good value investment for a stock in the long run. Number 5 of my strategy is losing and gaining quick cash. It's just an emotional ride. It is important to anticipate that this game is psychologically intense in a way that it triggers the feeling of euphoria, fear, hope, despair, and many more. As discussed in earlier video, I made a video explaining the correlation of psychology and why the game was designed for people who can manage and control their emotions rather than to the people who decide based on their emotion. Losing and gaining profit in short term is real and we cannot prevent it but to express what we feel when it rides all the way. This is the main reason why I will manage to check my account only twice a week to avoid deciding based on my emotion when things go wrong or when things started to get high. Last but not the least is that number 6, listed best of eToro and copy their option trade. Because I'm still new to this eToro platform, I am also willing to explore and learn to successfully professional of this game. Luckily, eToro has managed to make this platform a social trading game that reveals top traders and investors all over the world. I follow some of the best traders not because I want to copy them but to monitor something over the course of my investment. In choosing long-term stock option, I still heavily rely in my intuition and own analysis, but when it comes to swing trade or short-term profiting, I found out that mimicking the option of top traders solved my problems and reduced my thinking time on that option. I was amazed that over the course of 2 months, eToro was becoming a hype and designed to be addictive, similar to other social media sites. It was indeed programmed as a social media platform only through investors, traders, and gamblers. The newsfeed can be engaging enough to help you or fail you along the way. People had their own different opinions, and it is up to you if you follow them or not. It's amazing to see that even the top traders I follow manage to get red and fail at some point of their time. This is the reason that not anyone can beat the market, and simply by making a strategy like I did above, it might reduce any exposure and stress, which could somehow help me focus more onto my priority than to investment, which is only part 30% of my total life priority. Thank you for watching. Hope you learn onto my channel. See you and goodbye.